Welcome to this masterclass on interpreting statistical concepts. Today, we dive deep into one of the most misunderstood metrics in categorical data analysis, Pseudo R-Squared. Specifically, we will explore how to evaluate Logit and Probit models, moving beyond the traditional ordinary least squares mindset. In linear regression, the R-squared is a clear, intuitive measure. It represents the proportion of variance explained by the model. It ranges from 0 to 1, where 1 is a perfect fit. However, when we enter the world of Logit and Probit models, where the outcome is binary, like yes or no, the concept of variance as we know it changes. We are no longer minimizing the sum of squared errors, we are maximizing a likelihood function. Section 1. The engine of Logit and Probit. Unlike OLS, these models use maximum likelihood estimation, or MLE. Imagine you are trying to find the parameters that make the observed data the most probable. Because we aren't dealing with distances to a line, but rather the probability of an event, the standard R-squared formula simply doesn't apply. This leads us to the Pseudo R-Squared metrics. Section 2. McFadden's R-Squared. This is perhaps the most popular version. It compares the log likelihood of the full model against a null model which only has an intercept. The logic is, if your predictors add value, the log likelihood should significantly increase. Mathematically, it is defined as 1 minus L of full divided by L of null. Note that McFadden's values between 0.2 and 0.4 are considered excellent, which often confuses beginners used to OLS values of 0.8. Section 3. The Cox and Snell R-squared. This metric takes a different approach by looking at the ratio of the likelihoods and raising it to the power of 2 over n. While mathematically elegant, it has a major drawback. Its maximum value is often less than 1, even for a perfect model. This makes it difficult to interpret in a traditional sense. Section 4. The Nagelkerke or Krag and Euler R-squared. To fix the limitation of Cox and Snell, Nagelkerke proposed a rescaled version. By dividing the Cox and Snell value by its theoretical maximum, we get a metric that can actually reach 1. This makes it more user-friendly for those transitioning from linear models to logistic ones. Section 5. Other variants like McKelvey-Savoyna and Efron's R-squared. McKelvey and Savoyna attempt to estimate the R-squared of the underlying latent variable, the hidden continuous scale behind the binary choice. Efron's, on the other hand, stays closer to the OLS spirit by calculating the squared correlations between predicted probabilities and actual outcomes. Section 6. Practical application, predicting bank loan defaults. Imagine a bank using a Logit model to decide who gets a loan. If the McFadden R-squared is 0.25, the model is actually performing quite well in a real-world setting. We must interpret these numbers in context. Predicting human behavior is noisier than predicting physical phenomena. Section 7. Pitfalls and comparison. A high pseudo R-squared does not necessarily mean your model is good or has predictive power. It only measures the improvement over the null model. You should always complement these with classification tables, ROC curves, and the Hosmer-Lemeshow test. Remember, pseudo R-squared is a tool for model comparison, not an absolute truth. In conclusion, evaluating Logit and Probit requires a shift in perspective. Don't hunt for a 0.99 R-squared. Instead, focus on the gain in information. Use McFadden for a solid standard and Nagelkerke for a scaled view, but always keep your eyes on the business or research objective. References: 1. Gujarati D.N. Basic Economics. 2. Long J.S. Regression Models for Categorical and Limited Dependent Variables. 3. McFadden D. Conditional Logit Analysis of Qualitative Choice Behavior. 4. Wooldridge J.S. Introductory Economics, a Modern Approach.